The night the images appeared, Arav deleted the message before his wife could read it. What he didn't know was that silence can be louder than truth, and that one choice would pull his marriage into a storm no telescope could explain. Some discoveries don't happen in space, they happen inside a human heart. Arav sits alone at his desk, the glow of a laptop lighting his tired face. Outside, rain taps the window. On the screen are blurry, strange cosmic images labeled 3I Atlas. New data. His phone vibrates. He flinches, then quickly closes the screen. Maya's voice comes from the doorway, calm but observant. "You're still working? You promised you'd sleep early tonight." Arav forces a smile and shuts the laptop harder than necessary. Just last-minute emails. Nothing important. Maya steps closer, notices his shaking hands. She places a cup of tea beside him. "You always say that when something is important." Arav avoids her eyes. "Please, Maya, I'm fine." She watches him for a moment, then quietly leaves. The rain grows heavier. The next morning, sunlight fills the small kitchen. Maya prepares breakfast. Arav scrolls on his phone, restless. Maya speaks gently. "You've been distant since last week, since those new space images went viral." Arav stiffens. "They're just pictures. People exaggerate." Maya turns to him, surprised. "You didn't even look at them, did you? You love this stuff. Remember when we stayed up all night watching meteor showers?" Arav nods faintly, memories flickering across his face. Things change. Maya sits across from him, or people hide. Silence stretches between them. Later that day, Arav walks into a small observatory office. His colleague Samir waits, excited and nervous. Samir whispers urgently, "They released more images. These aren't normal, Arav. The trajectory, the structure, it's challenging everything we know." Arav rubs his forehead. "That's exactly why we need to be careful." Samir lowers his voice. "The Institute wants you to present this publicly. Tonight." Arav's eyes widen. "Tonight? I can't." "Why?" Samir asks. "This is your life's work." Arav thinks of Maya, of the unread messages, of fear, because once people see it, there's no turning back. Evening falls. Arav returns home late. Maya sits on the sofa, phone in her hand. Her eyes are red. She looks up slowly. "Why did I hear about your presentation from the internet, and not from you?" Arav freezes. "I wanted to tell you. When?" Maya stands. After the whole world knew. He tries to explain, words stumbling. It's complicated. The images, the theories, they could change everything. Maya's voice cracks, so could honesty. She holds up her phone. "I found the deleted message, the one where you said you were scared." Arav's shoulders slump. "I didn't want to worry you." Maya steps closer, tears forming. "You didn't protect me, you pushed me away." The room is heavy with emotion. Arav finally meets her eyes. "I'm afraid, Maya, these images, they question what we believe about our place in the universe. And if I'm wrong, I lose everything." Maya takes a deep breath. "And if you're right?" He whispers. "Then humanity changes." She wipes her tears, steadying herself. "You once told me marriage means facing the unknown together, not alone." Arav is silent. Maya picks up her jacket. "Take me with you tonight, to the presentation, to the truth." He looks shocked. "It could be dangerous. Public backlash, ridicule." She interrupts softly but firmly. "I'd rather face questions with you than live with lies." A long pause. Arav nods slowly. "Okay." They walk out together into the night. The rain has stopped, but clouds still cover the sky. As they drive, the radio plays news about the mysterious 3I Atlas images, experts arguing, people fearing. Maya looks out the window. "Do you think the universe is trying to tell us something?" Arav answers honestly for the first time. "I think it's asking us who we really are, When certainty disappears, the car disappears down the road toward the glowing lights of the city, toward questions without answers, and a marriage standing at the edge of truth. Some journeys don't begin with courage. They begin with fear, and the decision not to run from it. The auditorium lights are blinding, but the silence is worse. Arav feels his heartbeat louder than the crowd. One wrong word here could shatter his career, or his marriage. Maya squeezes his hand before they enter. Her touch is steady even though her eyes show fear. They step inside. Scientists, journalists, cameras everywhere. A massive screen shows the strange images of 3-Eye Atlas, glowing like something alive. Samir rushes toward them. "You came. Good. They're waiting for you." He notices Maya. "Oh, I didn't know you were bringing—" "My wife," Arav says firmly. "She stays." Samir hesitates, then nods and walks away. They sit in the front row. Whispering fills the room. Someone points. Cameras click. Maya leans closer and whispers, "You okay?" Arav swallows. "I don't know." The lights dim. The moderator speaks briefly, then gestures toward Arav. Applause rises, then fades. Arav walks to the stage. He stands still for a moment, staring at the images behind him. His voice finally comes out, low and controlled. "These images were captured by the Atlas survey system. At first we thought they were errors, then coincidences. Now, we know they're neither." The room grows tense. These patterns don't follow known, cosmic behavior. They challenge our assumptions about space, time, and origin. A journalist interrupts loudly. "Are you saying this is artificial? Intelligent?" Murmurs explode across the room. Arav hesitates. His eyes flick toward Maya. She nods slightly, encouraging him. "I'm saying," he continues, "that we don't yet understand what intelligence truly looks like." Suddenly, another scientist stands. "This is speculation. You're feeding fear." Arav responds calmly. "Fear doesn't come from truth. It comes from hiding it." The room falls quiet. Maya watches him, pride mixed with worry. A new image appears on the screen, clearer, sharper. Gasps echo. Samir whispers from the side. "That image wasn't approved." Arav turns, confused. "What?" The moderator panics. "This wasn't in the release." A loud voice from the audience shouts, "So you were hiding something!" Chaos erupts. People argue. Cameras flash. Security moves in. Arav raises his hands. "Enough." The room slowly settles. "That image is new. It appeared just hours ago. I didn't hide it because I didn't know it existed." Maya's phone vibrates. She looks down. A message from an unknown number. "Tell your husband to stop. Some questions should remain unanswered." Her face drains of color. Arav steps off the stage during a short break. Maya pulls him aside urgently. "We need to talk, now." She shows him the message. His jaw tightens. "Who sent this?" "I don't know," she whispers. "But this isn't just science anymore." Before Arav can respond, Samir rushes back, sweating. "The Institute is pulling the plug. They're saying national security." Arav laughs bitterly. "National security from images?" Samir lowers his voice. "There are sponsors involved, powerful ones." Maya looks between them. "So the truth has a price?" Arav answers quietly. "It always has." They leave the auditorium under heavy G. Ard. Outside, protesters and reporters crowd them. Someone shouts, "Is humanity in danger?" Another yells, "Are we alone?" Arav stops walking. Maya grips his arm, alarmed. He turns to the crowd and speaks loudly, clearly. "The real danger isn't what's out there." He looks back at Maya, then forward again. "It's what happens when we stop trusting each other in here." The guards pull him away. That night, they sit in their car, parked in darkness. Neither speaks for a long time. Finally, Maya breaks the silence. "I was afraid tonight." Arav nods. "So was I." She looks at him, voice trembling. "But for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel alone." He reaches for her hand. I should have trusted you from the beginning. Maya exhales slowly. This discovery is testing more than science, Arav. It's testing us. His phone rings. Unknown number again. The city sleeps, but Arav and Maya do not. Some truths refuse to let the night stay quiet, and some choices decide not just a future, but a soul. Early morning light enters their living room. Arav sits on the floor, surrounded by printed images of 3-eye Atlas, red circles, notes, torn papers. Maya brings him coffee and sits beside him. You didn't sleep, she says softly. Arav shakes his head. Every time I close my eyes, I hear that voice. Truth or love? Maya looks at the images. Why does it have to be one or the other? He sighs, because powerful people don't fear lies. They fear honesty. His phone buzzes again. Another message. Final warning. Cancel the release or face consequences. Maya reads it, then calmly places the phone down. They think fear controls people. Arav looks at her, exhausted, and it works. Maya turns to him, her voice steady but emotional. Arav, when my father was sick, the doctors hid the truth. They said it was for our peace. He died without saying goodbye, without prepa. Ring us. That silence hurt more than the truth ever could. Arav listens, eyes filling. She continues. Love doesn't grow in darkness. It grows in courage. He takes a deep breath. If I release everything, I lose my job. Maybe worse. Maya places her hand on his chest. If you stay silent, you lose yourself. A long pause. Later that day, Arav stands alone in the Institute's data center. Samir appears, nervous. They're watching everything, Samir whispers. Once you upload this, there's no undo. Arav nods. I know. Samir hesitates. Why are you doing this? Arav answers simply, because someone trusted me with the truth. Samir steps aside. At home, Maya watches the live stream. Her hands are clasped tightly. Arav appears on screen, calm but serious. I was asked to stay silent, he begins. Not because the data is false, but because it is inconvenient. Social media explodes. Comments flood in. These images don't prove danger, Arav continues. They prove humility, that we are not the center of everything. The feed glitches for a moment, then returns. And if knowledge scares us, he says firmly, then the problem isn't the universe, it's us. The stream cuts, silence. Maya stares at the screen, tears rolling down her face, not from fear but pride. Hours later, a knock at the door. 2 officials stand outside. Arav Patel? One asks. Yes, you are suspended pending investigation. Maya steps forward. He did nothing wrong, the official replies coldly. Truth is rarely convenient. They leave. The house feels empty, heavy. Arav sinks onto the couch. I'm sorry, this isn't the life I promised you. Maya sits beside him, holding his face. This is exactly the life you promised me, an honest one. Days pass. News channels debate. Some call Arav a hero. Others call him reckless. One evening they walk outside. The sky is clear. Maya points. Upward. Do you think whatever is out there knows we're fighting about it? Arav smiles faintly. Maybe. Or maybe it's just watching how we treat each other. He takes her hand. I used to think protecting you meant hiding the truth. She squeezes his hand. And now I know love isn't about control, he says. It's about trust. A shooting star crosses the sky. Maya whispers, no matter what they take from us, we still have that. Arav nods, and that's more powerful than any discovery. The universe remained full of questions, but one answer was clear. Truth without love is cold. Love without truth is fragile, and only together can they light the darkest unknown. Years later, the images are no longer new, but their consequences still echo. Because some truths age into wisdom, and some into regret. Morning sunlight fills a modest classroom. Children sit quietly, eyes wide, staring at a projection of the night sky. Arav stands at the front, older now, calmer. No lab coat, no institute badge. "And this," he says gently, pointing to the screen, "is 3I Atlas. We still don't know exactly what it is." A child raises her hand. "Sir, does not knowing scare you?" Arav smiles softly. "It used to." The bell rings. Children leave, chatting excitedly. Maya waits by the door. She looks at him the same way she always has, like she sees the best and worst of him and chooses him anyway. "You were good today," she says. Arav shrugs. "I just tell them the truth, that it's okay not to have answers." They walk home together. On the street, a man stops Arav. "You're the scientist from the images, right?" Arav nods cautiously. The man smiles. "My daughter chose astronomy because of you." Arav is stunned. "Thank you." The man walks away. Arav turns to Maya, eyes shining. "Maybe I didn't lose everything." Maya smiles. "You lost noise. You kept meaning that." Night, they sit on their rooftop, the same place they once watched meteor showers. Arav speaks quietly. "I used to think changing the world meant making discoveries." Maya rests her head on his shoulder. "And now I think it means choosing honesty, even when it costs." They sit in silence, watching the stars. Somewhere far beyond sight, 3I Atlas continues its journey. Still unexplained, still mysterious. But below it, two people learned something just as important. That the universe doesn't test us with what it reveals, but with how we treat each other when everything we believe is questioned. And in a world full of endless unknowns, truth shared with love remains the greatest discovery of all. The story should have ended there, but life doesn't stop teaching lessons just because peace arrives. Sometimes the final test comes after you think you've already passed. Late one night, Arav's old phone lights up on the table, a number he hasn't seen in years. He stares at it before answering. "Yes?" Samir's voice comes through, older, tired. They confirmed it. Arav sits up straight. Confirmed what? The signal. It wasn't natural. It never was. Silence fills the room. Maya, half asleep, senses the shift. "Who is it?" Arav covers the phone. "Samir." Her eyes widen slightly. Samir continues, voice low. "They buried the data back then, classified it, but now, too many independent observatories are seeing the same thing." Arav exhales slowly. "So they were wrong to silence it?" "Yes," Samir says. "And they want you back." Arav closes his eyes. "No." Samir hesitates. "They're offering everything you lost." The call ends. Maya sits beside Arav. "They want to use you." He nods. "They always did." She studies his face. "What do you want?" Arav thinks of the classroom, the children, the quiet nights. "I want peace." Maya smiles softly. Choose it." The next day, headlines explode again. New images, new debates. Arav's name trends across screens. A reporter stands outside their building shouting questions. "Dr. Patel, will you return to the investigation?" Arav steps out calmly, Maya beside him. He speaks clearly. "I won't." The crowd is shocked. "The universe doesn't belong to institutions," he continues. "And truth doesn't need permission." A reporter asks loudly, "Don't you want to be remembered?" Arav looks at Maya, then back at the crowd. "I already am. By the people who matter." They walk away together. That night, they sit under the stars once more. Maya whispers, "Do you ever regret it?" Arav shakes his head. "I regret hiding from you. I regret silence. I regret fear." He takes her hand, but never the truth. Above them, the sky remains vast and unanswered. And somewhere in that darkness, whatever 3I Atlas truly was, it remained silent, not as a threat, not as a promise, but as a reminder that the greatest mystery was never out there. It was whether humans would choose honesty over comfort, and love over fear. And this time, they did. Time moved on quietly, the way it always does after storms. Not with applause, not with headlines, but with small moments that decide who we become. Months later, a power outage blankets the city. The stars return, bright and untouched. Arav and Maya stand on the rooftop again, wrapped in a shared silence. Maya laughs softly. Funny how darkness helps us see better. Arav nods. When everything went wrong, I thought I lost my purpose. She looks at him. And now? He gestures to the sky, then to their small home behind them. Now I know purpose isn't found. It's chosen. A neighbor's child runs up the stairs excited. Sir, sir. My teacher says the universe is still expanding. Does that mean we're getting smaller? Arav kneels to death. Child's level, smiling. No. It means we're learning how big curiosity can be. The child runs off, satisfied. Maya watches Arav, eyes full. You changed lives without trying to. He shakes his head. I just stopped pretending I was alone. His old laptop sits open nearby. The same images of 3i, Atlas, glow softly, no longer frightening. Just unknown. Arav closes the screen gently. Some questions don't need answers right away. Maya rests her head on his shoulder, and some answers don't come from questions. A breeze moves through the rooftop. Somewhere, a distant city sound fades. Arav speaks quietly, almost to himself. I used to believe discovery meant control, Maya replies, calm and sure. And now you believe? That discovery means responsibility, he says. To truth, to people, to love. They sit there until the stars slowly dim with the coming dawn. The universe remains vast. Mysteries remain unanswered. But one lesson stands unshaken. When truth is shared with courage, when love walks beside honesty, even the unknown becomes bearable. And sometimes, the greatest image ever revealed is not found in the sky, but in the choice to stand together when answers are still far away. The stars fade as morning arrives, but the lesson is not finished yet, because real endings are tested in ordinary days, and morals prove themselves when no one is watching. Weeks later, Arav sits alone in the classroom after everyone is gone. A letter rests on his desk. He opens it slowly. It's from a university overseas, offering him a senior position, full funding, respect, a fresh start. He stares at the words for a long time. At home, Maya notices the silence in him before he speaks. You're holding something heavy, she says. Arav hands her the letter. They want me back in the center of it all. Maya reads quietly, then looks up. And what does your heart say? He sits beside her, conflicted. It says I'm tired of being brave, but I'm also tired of running. Maya takes his hands. Running from what? From proving myself, he admits. From choosing between success and peace. She smiles gently. You don't have to choose what impresses the world. That night, Arav walks alone through the city. Billboards flash. People rush past, everyone chasing something. He remembers the applause he once wanted, the fear he once obeyed, the silence he once chose. The next morning, Arav returns to the classroom. The children arrive, loud and curious. One boy asks, Sir, why do stars die? Arav thinks, then answers honestly, so other stars can be born. He looks around the room. Something settles inside him. Later, he writes a reply to the university. Short, respectful, final. I choose to stay. That evening, Maya finds him on the rooftop again. Well, she asks. He smiles lighter than before. I declined. She doesn't cheer, she doesn't cry, she simply hugs him. You chose yourself, she says. Arav looks up at the sky one last time that night. Maybe the universe wasn't testing humanity. Maya follows his gaze. Maybe it was teaching us. He nods. That knowledge without honesty is empty. That love without truth is weak, and that courage doesn't always roar. The wind moves softly around them. Sometimes courage is quiet, sometimes it's staying, sometimes it's telling the truth when no reward follows. And long after the images of 3i, Atlas stopped shocking the world, their real impact lived on quietly in a man who learned that the greatest discovery is not what we find in the universe, but what we refuse to lose within ourselves. Years passed like soft pages turning. Arov's hair carried threads of gray now. Maya's laughter carried more peace than before. Life had become simpler, not smaller. One evening, a documentary plays on television. Old footage. Younger Arov on a stage. The images of 3i Atlas flash again. The narrator on TV says, "History remembers this moment as the time humanity chose debate over denial." Maya switches off the screen. Arov looks at her. "You didn't want to watch?" She smiles. "I live the ending every day." They sit together on the balcony. The city lights flicker below. Arov speaks softly. "If I had stayed silent back then, we might have had an easier life." Maya answers without hesitation, but not an honest one. He nods. "I thought success meant being known by millions." She takes his hand. "And now I know it means being truly known by one." A pause, comfortable, real. A message notification appears on Arov's phone. One of his former students. "Sir, I told the truth today, even though I was scared. I remembered what you taught us." Arov closes his eyes, emotion rising. Maya notices. "That message means more than any award, doesn't it?" He exhales slowly. "It means the lesson survived." Above them, the night sky stretches endlessly, still full of unanswered questions, still mysterious. But beneath it, two lives stand steady. Because the final truth was never about images, signals, or the universe. It was this: when fear asks you to hide, when power asks you to stay quiet, when love asks you to be honest, choose love, choose truth, choose courage, even if it costs you comfort. And then, no matter how vast the universe becomes, you will never feel small again. The night air feels different now. Lighter, like something unseen has finally settled. Arav and Maya sit quietly, listening to the distant sounds of the city. For the first time in years, Arav speaks with no weight in his voice. "Do you think people still argue about what 3i Atlas really was?" Maya smiles softly. "They always will. Humans love answers more than understanding." He nods. "I used to want to be the one who explained everything." She looks at him. "And now? Now I'm okay knowing that some things exist just to remind us how small our fears are." A silence follows, not empty but full. Suddenly, the power returns across the city. Lights flick on. The stars fade again. Maya sighs playfully. "There go the stars." Arav smiles. "They're still there. We just don't always see them." He stands and looks at the dark sky one last time before the lights fully take over. Years ago, he hid the truth to protect love. Later, he risked everything to honor it. And in the end, he learned something simple: that love doesn't need protection from truth. It needs truth to survive. Arav turns to Maya. "Thank you for not letting me disappear when I was afraid." She rests her forehead against his. "Thank you for choosing honesty when it mattered most." They go inside, closing the door behind them. Outside, the universe continues its endless motion. Stars are born, stars fade, mysteries remain. But inside that small home, something permanent exists. A life built on trust, a marriage shaped by courage, a lesson written not in the sky, but in the heart. And long after the images of 3i, Atlas stopped raising questions for the world. They left behind one answer that mattered more than all the rest. When truth and love walk together, even the unknown cannot break you. Morning comes quietly. No announcements, no breaking news, just sunlight touching the walls of a simple home. Arav wakes before Maya. He stands by the window, watching people leave for work, chasing deadlines, chasing recognition, chasing approval. He whispers to himself, "I chase that too." Maya joins him, wrapping a shawl around her shoulders. "You're thinking again." He smiles. "I'm remembering." She waits. "I remember the night I deleted that message," he says softly. "I thought silence was love." Maya looks at him, not angry, not hurt, just honest. "And now I know silence is fear pretending to be protection." She nods. They eat breakfast slowly. No phones, no rush. Later that day, Arav walks into the classroom. A new student sits alone, nervous. Arav notices immediately. He kneels beside the desk. "First day?" The boy nods. "I'm scared to ask questions. People laugh." Arav smiles gently, then asks anyway. "Questions are how brave people begin." The boy's face relaxes. That evening, Arav and Maya walk home hand in hand. The sky is painted orange and purple. Maya speaks quietly. "Do you ever wish we could go back and change things?" Arav stops walking. "No." She looks surprised. "If I hadn't been afraid," he continues, "I wouldn't understand courage. If I hadn't almost lost you, I wouldn't know the value of truth." Maya's eyes soften. "So even the pain mattered?" "Yes," he says, "because it taught me who I want to be." They reach their home. Arav looks up at the sky one last time. 3i Atlas is still out there, unexplained, unanswered, but it no longer haunts him, because the biggest mystery was never the universe. It was the human heart, and the final lesson was simple, clear, and unbreakable. Truth doesn't destroy love. Fear does. Honesty doesn't end relationships. Silence does, and when a person chooses courage over comfort, they don't just change their future, they save their soul. The door closes softly behind them, and the story finally rests. This is truly the final chapter of the story. Years later, Arav and Maya sit together on the same rooftop, where they once feared the unknown. Their hair has hints of gray, their faces lined with quiet wisdom. A child from the neighborhood climbs up to join them, pointing at the sky. "Sir, is that a comet?" Arav smiles, taking the boy's hand gently. "Maybe, or maybe it's a reminder that some things are bigger than we can understand." Maya watches, her hand resting on Arav's. "You've taught them to ask, not to fear." Arav nods. "Yes. And that's all that matters." The city hums below. Lights flicker on and off, children play, people rush past. The universe continues its endless expansion. Arav looks at Maya quietly. "I once thought bravery meant proving the world wrong. Now I know it means staying true when no one is watching." Maya smiles softly and loving without pretending. The stars appear faintly above, distant but constant. Arav whispers, almost to himself, "The universe may never answer all questions, but we've answered the ones that matter most, for us." Maya rests her head on his shoulder, and that's enough. The camera of imagination pans upward, leaving them together beneath the infinite sky. The moral is clear. Courage is choosing truth over fear. Love is choosing honesty over comfort. And sometimes the greatest discoveries are not in the stars, but in the hearts of those who dare to face the unknown. Together, the story ends. The lesson remains. The story is now fully concluded. All the episodes have been completed, from Arav's initial fear and secrecy through the public revelation of the 3i Atlas images, to the final moral lessons about truth, courage, and love. There are no further chapters to continue. The narrative arc and life lesson are fully resolved.